We're going to have a banner slogan that's just an oil rig that says "Drill me."
Drill. With T-shirts, I tap that.
Tap
the oil well.
With a little oil well, I tap that. Yes. Yes.
Campaign's off to a great start.
Stop it. Welcome
to
Sabbath.
the
Oh,
Naked
wait.
Apple, not Apple. You threw me off with your Sabbath morning.
I got so confused by the singing. There was a clapping, man.
I thought I was in church
in my
again.
head.
It's kind of funny. My son thoroughly enjoys Stop It.
Oh, does he?
Yes. He'll be walking up to the car to get in, and he'll start saying "Stop it" over and over again.
Stop it.
Took me a second because I thought he was saying "Hey, stupid."
That's all right. We're looking forward to the day that my wife is listening to our podcast and our daughter thinks that I'm somehow in the house even though I'm not there. And is thoroughly upset because Daddy's voice is coming from somewhere, but he is hiding.
He gone.
Stop crying. This is the reason your daddy's not here, but you can hear his voice. Childhood trauma on a silver platter.
And so it begins. Every child needs therapy.
How many ways can I screw this child up? Well, I already planned on telling her that blue is red and red is green, so it'll be fun.
That's not even the fruit.
That's not even the fruit, right? Welcome.
First order of business I'd like to do, because this episode's most likely should get us banned if we were on standard platforms.
I am trying my damnedest.
And I'm even going to put this up on YouTube and stuff, just to see what happens. It's been a while since we've had a good banning.
So we have an episode called Please Don't Ban This. This episode is going to be Please Ban This.
With Chuck Norris just staring him down.
Yeah, that's going to be our screen grab. It's just Chuck Norris.
But no, I'd like to kick it off by saying congratulations to Emma Wyatt, who is the rightful winner of the NCAA 500-yard freestyle swim.
Yes, I have some news about that in my stack of things here.
Kick off with that, the actual first place winner of the women's 500-yard freestyle swimming for the NCAA. Good job.
How dare you,
Emma. I don't care, Greta. You are first in 0 books for women's stuff.
That is valid. Very, very valid. That's fair.
That's fair. That was accurate and called for.
That was rude, accurate, and perfectly called for.
All right. Without further ado, to continue our cancellation of vitamin B from the Babylon Bee.
B. Hello and welcome to your Vitamin B. We have news for you today. So many newses. All of the newses. We got the best newses.
Before you go, I have to interject something here.
Interject away.
On the side of this article I'm looking at for the first one we have, women left with shark hand after doctors sew it inside stomach during surgery. If that's not the most clickbaitiest clickbait you've ever seen.
There is so much clickbait in that clickbait.
Anyway.
I am very tempted to click the clickbait.
I apologize for interrupting.
You should be sorry.
But carry on, my wayward son.
There might be peace when you are done.
It's an actual New York Post article. What the heck?
I don't understand. I'm confused.
That's going to be the first story after you're done.
Carry
on.
The shark hand is going to be the
shark
first?
hand sewn inside a stomach.
All right,
as you were.
I will open that and pull it in. As I was. Well, now I've lost the entire train of... screw it.
I've
Congratulations this year to Rachel Levine for winning Babylon Bee's Man of the Year. So proud.
Brave.
So brave.
Brave.
So happy.
Yep.
In other news... U.S. horses terrified obese Americans will need them for transportation again. As gas climbs to over $5 a gallon.
See, horses have a natural arch in their back.
Seahorses do? That's weird.
And you throw a fat person on that and...
just kind of...
It just kind of...
caves.
You know how rainbow is? Just kind of inverse that.
Speaking of... broken rainbows, New York Times announces they have finally confirmed the Watergate tapes are authentic. It's about time, New York Times.
They must be using Internet Explorer.
They must be. In your sports news, NCAA swimming champ caught in possession of performance-enhancing testicles.
That explains it. They really should do drug tests.
So much. Explains so much. In other news, Planned Parenthood backs new Don't Say Baby bill.
Don't say baby bill. It doesn't actually say that in the bill. Where does it say baby in the bill?
It's implied. But that is not the least of our worries. AOC to vote against making daylight savings permanent, saying Americans consume too much sunlight already.
Too much.
If we consume all of the sunlight, then there won't be any left to power our solar generators.
Watch. Watch. Some idiot uppity up will fall for that. It'll be what's his face that thinks the island of Guam will capsize if too many Marines are stationed there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
My concern is we'll run out of sun. We don't anticipate that.
The former president of the United States, President Donald Trump, has some concerns growing about him after he goes 10 minutes without sending supporters a campaign email. Have you seen those campaign? They literally come in every 10 minutes. This
is why I don't sign up to support
ridiculous.
campaigns.
There are so many of them. So many emails all the time.
We don't have his Twitter, so now we need my email flooded with emails, please.
You know you want to vote for the best president ever.
I only send the best emails. The most uplifting, the most good.
Yes, well, we have some news concerning our vitamin B brethren over at the Babylon Bee. Twitter throws Babylon Bee into fiery furnace after refusal to worship the pride flag.
I mean, it's satire, but I mean...
In related news, Taliban spokesman was finally banned from Twitter this afternoon after sharing Babylon Bee headlines.
That's how you ban them.
Yes. In your sports news, circling back, like Saki. Nation excited for first trans woman basketball player to finally make WNBA watchable.
They're still a thing.
Yeah, apparently. In your economic news, Biden is going to get his face on a new dollar bill. The $1 trillion print coming to theaters near you is going to have the face of Biden looking so confused, plastered all over it.
It'll buy half a thing of popcorn.
It will. Exactly half of a thing of popcorn. We have some breaking news today at our Vitamin B segment. I have acquired right here
In your hands.
in my hands.
You're going to go Alex Jones on us, and you have the papers?
I have the papers.
I have it from highly qualified persons.
This is an updated list of the Epstein Island pedophiles that have been arrested.
Oh, this should be good. Do we
Yes.
have time actually for this?
We
This
do.
is
We
supposed
do
to be
have
a
time.
shorter
This is
segment
short.
that we do.
This is the list. And this has been your Vitamin B.
Have we compared that list to how many people have been arrested for storming the Capitol?
You mean aside from the one that was an FBI plant?
Aside from most of them that were... What?
Oh.
Huh?
Wait.
Anyway. So this story of the shark hand stomach lady that we got distracted with was perusing through
Shark
it.
hands, do.
So the reason why she is known is because she made a TikTok of herself with her little shark hand looking thing where she is bringing it towards a bowl of soapy water to wash her shark hand, and she's doing the Jaws theme song as she does it. So she's got a good sense of humor about it all for having her hand sewn into her stomach, I guess.
So
What happened was she had some pain in her gut back area. Turns out she had a kidney stone. So the hospital said, here's kidney stone treatment stuff. And then she developed sepsis. And her body started attacking her limbs. So her hand... Let's see. In order to save her life, medics placed Kemp into a medical coma for 11 days. All this from a kidney stone. Ended up amputating all her fingers on her left hand. Doctors then sewed her hand inside a pouch in her abdomen to maintain blood circulation, which Kemp said resulted in her high fiver. Oh, okay.
Her high fiver.
Her
Her high fiver.
I was thinking fever. Okay.
Becoming
High
a dead
fiver
ringer for a shark.
I look at it the first time and I moved what was left of my thumb and I was like, wow, it looks like a shark. Kemp explained of her hand, which also evokes a lobster claw or boxing glove. Yes, it does.
She's going to have to get that tattoo redone.
Yes. I think that's the least of her concerns right now, though. Yeah, then she did a little TikTok video, went viral, and that's why the New York Post now has a story of it on the side of other things we were looking at. So there you go. Now,
I mean, it's still functional. She can still do her makeup with it. That's what the TikTok video is.
there you go. So now, on to, we're a little New York Times heavy because, as I mentioned in the Vitamin B, they apparently are using Internet Explorer to figure things out. So, going to have to excuse my friend. They're a little slow. Sorry. The truth is about 10 miles in that direction. Mike's not laughing. I don't think he gets it.
Dumb and Dumber.
There, he got it. Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
I got it.
We're good. Anyways, the New York Times must have watched our one of our episodes watching this because, they confirmed that the New York Post was correct in that Hunter Biden left his laptop at a computer repair store and there was damning evidence against him and his father inside the laptop. Oops. But, it doesn't really matter because it's later. It doesn't matter. A comprehensive report about the ongoing federal probe into Hunter Biden's tax filings published by the New York Times. This is from the New York Post. So why don't you read it from the New York Times? Because it's on paragraph 28. Buried in a different story. Oh, by the way, this was real. In other news, it's beneath the fold, as it were. They confirmed the existence of the first son's infamous laptop. Let's see. It has. Well, this doesn't really pull excerpts from the New York Times because they didn't really talk about it because it's just a little thing. But, yeah. So there's that.
I have the full New York Times article.
Oh, you do? Does it say anything fun about it?
All you have to do is log in and then tell them to bollocks when they ask for money.
Would you like some money? No.
I would love some money if you want to send that to me for doing your job 9 months ago, you freaking jackasses.
9 months? It's been longer than that.
Has it?
Yeah. It's been over a year.
A year and a half ago, you freaking jackasses.
That was October 2020.
Holy shit. Has it really been that long? Mm-hmm. That really is a year. That's a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. New York Times finally verified.
There is no way in hell it took them that long.
No, they knew the day of. Why did they know the day of? Because Hunter Biden's lawyers went to the computer repair store and said, hey, can we have Hunter's laptop back? And the guy's like, you said it. I thought it wasn't Hunter's.
Yeah, about that.
You'd think with all his Ukrainian money, he would have bought some smarter lawyers. Yeah. Or maybe, remember that he had a laptop at a repair shop.
You'd think.
If he's that intelligent to get all this money from Ukraine. Oh, is there a war going on over there right now or something?
Yeah, something. There's something there.
Between Ukraine and Russia, which by the Russians also have a laptop because Hunter Biden slept with a hooker who actually was a Russian spy who took the laptop and gave it to the Russian mob, who gave it to the Russian government, who now has it, and is probably using it as blackmail against not just Hunter Biden, but also his dad. His dad, who's only the supposed leader of the alleged leader of the United States. Allegedly.
Hold on one second. Just so you know.
Okay. Ha-ha! Fools.
I have secret ways. I share them off the air so that I don't get sued.
So in this whole article, I just did a Control F on the New York Times article.
Control F this.
I Control F'd on the whole article. Oh, maybe if I actually do the right article. Never mind. Hold on.
Oh. What are you looking for? What did you Control F?
Well, I'm trying to. It won't let me. Well, let me do your trick on this one.
On which one?
It's the Hunter Biden one. Let me do it on the...
You have to do it in an incognito window.
Let me do it on the next one that we got. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I have the next one pulled up as well. What are you looking for?
There. I got it.
Tell me what to control F.
I got it. Control F.
Fine.
I just want to see if they actually... They did not.
What?
Control F, New York Post.
They didn't mention the New York
Zero
Post.
results for the news organization that broke the news. Hey, this is bad.
I love the fact that the New York Post wrote an entire article about how the New York Times confirmed the story that the New York Post broke a year and a half ago. That the New York Post was banned for breaking back in the day.
So at almost the end of this article, people familiar with the investigation said prosecutors had examined emails between Mr. Biden, Mr. Archer, and others about Burisma and other foreign business activities. Those emails were obtained by the New York Times from a cache of files that appears to have come from a laptop abandoned by Mr. Biden in a Delaware repair shop. The email and others in the cache were authenticated by people familiar with them and with the investigation. So the reason why they have it is because the Delaware store repair shop guy gave a copy to the FBI, and the New York Times has connections with the FBI, who finally gave them a copy of the files in the FBI after the New York Post, who also got a copy from the Delaware store, broke the news after verifying, holy crap, this stuff is right. And
So-
also Mr. Archer testifying that, yeah, all this stuff actually happened.
You ready for it? Mm-hmm. Why is it okay? Why is it okay to verify now? We've known about this story since October before the election. Why is it okay to verify this now?
I'll tell you why. I know why.
You know why?
I do know why.
I am so glad you know why.
Well, I actually don't. Oh, I'll get to it. Hold on.
I'll get to it. Hold on. Tap, typity, type.
See, I belong to a certain secret society. I don't believe I gotta mention its name.
So that story broke on. What was that? The
The New York Post one or
New York Times. Is that the 17th?
16th?
It's the 16th.
6 days ago. It's a week ago tomorrow.
So also on March 16th, we had this from Joe Biden. Then after this is when the article came out. If I can actually make sure I've got the right sound playing, and then that'll make more sense.
It probably will.
Especially if I use the right computer.
It might make more sense if you use the right computer.
Make a little bit more sense if I use the right computer.
So, I mean, it could be helpful. I think this is a two-pronged release here, though, myself.
So, did you hear Joe Biden? Please have the video.
Heard him? I've heard him several times. Understood him? Not even once.
Did you hear Joe Biden last week weirdly talking about revenge porn?
No. I didn't hear that.
So we established a new civil rights cause of action for those whose intimate images were shared on the public screen. How many times have you heard? I bet everybody knows somebody somewhere along the line that in an intimate relationship, what happened was the guy takes a revealing picture of his naked friend or whatever in a compromising position, and then literally, in a sense, blackmails or mortifies that person. Send it out, put it online.
What? Why would... What?
I literally don't know anybody that has had that happen to them.
He's at a women's thing. So why would he just randomly bring up, guys taking
that I can
picture of other guys in compromising positions? Why?
Girls. He said guys taking pictures of girls
Right.
naked is revenge porn
But why would he talk about that? That makes
because it's on his mind.
It did not line. Now, granted, nothing he says really lines up cohesively
At
in
all,
an entire
ever.
speech.
So no.
I was sitting there, I was listening to that. I was like, is something about to come out about the Hunter Biden thing again? Sure enough, Hunter Biden laptop, where there's incriminating videos and pictures of himself in compromising positions and women in compromising positions.
Isn't one of the laptops? So there's not just one laptop. There are
three.
There are three laptops. One of them is the one that he left in Delaware. One of them is the one that was confiscated by the Russians, right? Because he has videos of him having sex with a Russian woman on it.
Oops.
What was the third one?
Rudy Giuliani.
The Rudy Giuliani. They're the one from Delaware and the one that Rudy has are not the same one. I thought those were the same one.
No, Rudy has a copy of the second one. That's what it was.
Rudy has a copy of the second
FBI has the second one. Or something like that. And the FBI raided Rudy Giuliani's thing because he was talking about all kinds of stuff. Rudy Giuliani had the copies of the hard drives of Hunter Biden's laptop, said, take them. They took the watch off of his hands, off his arm, but they didn't take the hard drives that he was holding.
Because if they were to take it into custody, they would actually have to submit it as evidence, and then they would have to open an investigation into what is on those hard drives. So they refused to take it. That would be why.
But they'll take everything else in his office.
Yeah.
But not a couple of hard drives that he's holding in his hands.
Literally all of them. But so there's a couple of things here. One, obviously, Biden was trying to get out in front of that. Two is
by like 2 hours.
Look at the timing of this. So we are currently in the third month of his second year as president. At the 2-year mark, I believe the vice president could finish his term and then run for 2 more terms, correct?
I think technically, yes.
So if an investigation is opened now, it would go to court.
And would drag on for months.
No, it wouldn't go to court. It wouldn't actually go to court until approximately 9 to 10 months from now. Because you have to go through discovery, you have to go through subpoenas.
It would drag on to
all
court.
of those things. So the fact that the information is coming out right now likely implies that they're trying to open an investigation. If they open an investigation 10 or so months from now, when this all actually goes
all of a sudden,
down
legally, Biden's going to resign.
Biden's going to have to resign.
He's not going to resign because of this. He's going to resign because of health.
Yes.
So he still
he
resigns.
Doesn't resign in disgrace.
He still resigns with some dignity, quote unquote. Yeah. And then Kamala Harris takes over, which.
But this is another. And the reason it's coming out in the New York Times and stuff right now, they're setting the stage. They're
warming
they're building the board for the eventual, if Biden doesn't step down willingly.
If we let this nugget out, how is everyone going to react? If we let this bigger nugget out, how's everyone going to react? Yep.
It's backup plans to their backup plans. They probably have, at this point, between this and Ukraine and some of the other things that we already know about, they probably have about 4 to 6 ways that they could forcibly remove him from office if they needed to.
100%. If we were in an actual honest, good society,
he'd already be gone.
He wouldn't have been elected. 1.
Yeah, that's true.
But 2, he would be impeached and thrown in prison because the stuff on the laptop has him laundering money through his son and using his power to make his family rich as vice president. Let's see. As vice president, he oversaw relations with Ukraine and Russia. Right now, Ukraine and Russia are at war. On the laptop, we see Hunter Biden getting stupid rich from Ukraine and Russia. We also have from the laptop Hunter Biden getting stupid rich from China, to the point where he was the first American person to actually get access to billions of dollars from China for real estate stuff, having just as much real estate experience as Mike and I combined, which is zero.
Well, I was going to say, he probably has less real estate experience than I do.
I mean, he's
at
a
point.
decent carpet inspector. He can find Parmesan and carpet, no problem.
That's valid.
And China is threatening to go to war with anyone who disagrees with them taking Taiwan and other things that they think are theirs. Huh. Interesting.
That's it. I'm making a meme about adding chili jelly to my fried rice and sending it to Xi Jinping.
That's a spicy one.
That was not a stereotype joke at all.
At
all. No. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little.
He's on next level over there making the fried rice jokes. All we got is the hooches on the ice over here.
Kind of bait are they using?
What kind of bait are they using?
That's going to be in every episode.
Chili jelly and fried rice. That's the bait.
So right now, the reason why this came up is not because they're investigating Hunter Biden for laundering money and using his dad's political position to get more money. No, they're investigating Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden paid tax bill, but broad federal investigation continues. Justice Department inquiry into the business dealings of the president's son has remained active, with grand juries seeking information about payments from around the world. It's taxes is what they're looking at. It's not fraud. It's not treason. It's not whatever the crime is for using political power to get more power and money. No, it's taxes, which I believe is how they brought down, what's his name in Chicago years ago? Al Capone. It's tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just looking at stories here. There are actually 3 physical laptops.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to find where they all are. One of them is the one that's currently in FBI custody. One of them's with the Russians. I don't know where the third one is, but there are actually 3. All 3 of them are MacBook Pros. One of them has a sticker for the Beau Biden Foundation on it.
Oops. So, I mean, I can understand.
Oh, he brought all 3 of them to the repair. Huh. He really is just such a genius, isn't he?
I mean, I can understand, losing, misplacing, whatever, a laptop. You forget it somewhere, whatever. I would think after the second one, you kind of start locking that thing to your wrist, or you just stop having laptops.
You'd think. Can you imagine Hunter's lawyer through all this? It's like, all right, so
you left this.
You left this laptop. We got that covered. We're gonna take care of it. Is there anything else that's gonna come up that? I mean, I don't know if it'll come up, but the Russians have
Rubs bridge of nose.
Okay, Hunter, what is on the laptop? It's not much. It's just a porn video I shot with a Russian hooker.
Who may or may not have been a Russian spy.
God damn it, Hunter.
That's it, though, right?
That's all right. Well, there's a third one.
I don't. Okay. How much are you paying me again? Yeah, one of the emails is so crystal clear. He sent to a high-powered person in Mexico saying, "I got you the connections and the meetings with my father. Where's my money?"
Right. So what's on the third one? Oh, that one's my business laptop. Okay, so Hunter, what's on the third one? Emails?
Emails with who? People. Hunter. Hunter. Who?
Ukraine and Mexico?
Okay, Ukraine's not that bad. Well, what? What business did you have in Ukraine? I was an oil executive. You
were what now?
You work with oil? No. How are you in oil? I was on the board. How? How is this important to the case? I don't know. You got 3 laptops missing. They all seem to have damning evidence about you, which means it's probably damning evidence about, I don't know, your father who's running for president?
Your Honor, I object!
And why is that, Mr. Reed?
Because it's devastating to my case!
Overruled.
Good call!
What is that, bad or something? Well, according to a poll done after the fact, 18% of Americans said that they would not have voted for Joe Biden if they knew about the Hunter Biden laptop.
Oh, that's not very many.
No, it only would have swung every single state.
Every single swing state.
Every
yes.
single swing state.
It
yes.
would have swung every swing state.
It would have been an absolute landslide for Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only that much of a difference.
But most fair and secure election of all time.
Fair and secure.
We
balanced,
have the most popular president
81
that
million
has
votes.
ever been in office.
81 million votes for a president that barely left his house and never had a rally.
And currently has an approval rating of
Less than Trump.
ouch.
See, Trump started bad and just stayed right
Straight
there,
line.
right
Straight
there
line.
at 40 some odd percent. Biden started up here and just crashed. Kind of like the economy. What? Anyway.
I mean, it's not that. He's only got a 52.8% disapproval rating.
Versus of what approval?
42.
10 points underwater. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good job.
If you do the
Good
polls that only
job.
include adults, it's a 41.4% approval rating and a 53% disapproval rating.
12 under. And then, of course, that little chunk off to the side. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Anyway, also on the New York Times front. So all of that happened. And New York Times, the link that they have in the New York Times article links to another New York Times article, not to the New York Post article. It links to the New York Times where they talk about why it does and does not matter. Mostly why it doesn't matter.
Because the first family being completely and utterly corrupt makes no difference.
Not just corrupt, but
It's not
compromised.
Yeah. That doesn't
That's
matter.
okay. In another article that released 2 days later, America has a free speech problem. I wonder why. For all the tolerance and enlightenment that modern society claims, Americans are losing hold of a fundamental right as citizens of a free country, the right to speak their minds and voice their opinions in public without fear of being shamed or shunned.
Never thought I would agree with a sentence in a New York Times article.
And they tried to have that formatted as a whole paragraph, but no, it's just one sentence.
That is one sentence, yes.
This social
It's a
silence...
run-on sentence, but it is a sentence.
Well, it's the New York Times.
But it's okay because they added a colon, which makes the run-on sentence.
Whenever you can add a colon...
That is...
Oh, it's a colon. Whenever you can add a semicolon, just put a period.
Yes.
That's what it is. This
Yes.
social silencing, this depluralizing of America has been evident for years, but dealing with it stirs yet more fear. It feels like a third rail, dangerous. For a strong nation and open society, that is dangerous. Yes.
Third rail?
I don't know. It feels like a third rail. It's dangerous to have a third rail.
Hell is a third? Is that a saying somewhere?
Well, they're off the rails, as far as I know.
Oh, it's a rail that supplies the high voltage power to a train or an electric railway, or on an electric railway.
Gotcha. That's what they're referencing.
A subject that tends to be avoided because of its offensive or controversial nature. It is actually a saying. There you go. Found it. We can move on now.
Tickle me impressed. Which apparently that's a phrase too. Tickle me impressed.
Is it tickle me or color me? Is it?
Either way.
I've heard it both ways.
How has this happened? In large part,
Colloquialisms, man.
in large part, it's because the political left and right are caught in a destructive loop of condemnation and recrimination around cancel culture. Many on the left refuse to acknowledge that cancel culture exists at all. Thank you. Believing that those who complain about it are offering cover for bigots to peddle hate speech, which doesn't exist. Hate speech does exist.
No, it doesn't.
No, there's just speech that you decide. It's just people saying things that you decide to be offended by.
It is color me impressed.
Color me impressed. Well,
Also, color me surprised. It's two different versions of the same.
well, you can
Anyway,
tickle me impressed nonetheless.
I really don't want to.
Really don't want to. Many on the right, for all their braying about cancel culture, have embraced an even more extreme version of censoriousness. Wow, that's made up. As a bulwark against a rapidly changing society, with laws that would ban books, stifle teachers, and discourage open discussion in classrooms. No, see, there's a difference between what conservatives are pushing for versus what progressives are pushing for. Progressives want you to shut up unless you're saying exactly what they are saying. Conservatives want you to stop putting sex in children's education. In little children's education.
I love how they call not allowing kids under a certain age to read explicit material banning books. And banning, like, really? Like the don't say gay thing.
Yeah.
I don't want my child in third grade or lower to be taught sex education.
Yeah, that's
so what you're saying is don't say gay.
That's anti-LGBT. No, that's sex.
Sex. Just in general.
You know how there's a
sex,
Venn diagram
gender,
of sex stuff?
All of it.
I want them to at least know their ABCs before you start talking about what's between their legs.
At
Please.
the least.
Please. That's the difference. Many Americans are understandably confused then about what they can say and where they can say it. People should be able to...
Not confused. I say what I want, when I want, where I want. It's called free speech.
It's right here on the first little thing there on the bill of what they rights, that one. Yeah. Many Americans are understandably confused then about what they can and can't say, blah, blah, blah. People should be able to put forward viewpoints, ask questions, and make mistakes and take unpopular but good faith positions on issues that society is still working through, all without fearing cancellation. See all of the last 2 years. Where were you then, New York Times? Oh, yeah. Shutting people up who questioned, honestly, should we actually be shutting things down? Should we actually be blindly taking this vaccine that looks like it might have some bad stuff going with it? It doesn't. Pfizer documents say it does, which is why Pfizer reversed its course after they lost the lawsuits to keep the documents hidden for 75 years. And is now telling people that they might not be publicly traded anymore. Why are they doing that? I don't know. Maybe because everything everyone said about the vaccine is true and they actually should not be in operation anymore. If this was a true and just society, Pfizer would not exist anymore. And the top executives and many of the upper management would be going through court. to defend the reasonings why they lied to the CDC and lied to the people about how safe their stuff is. But it is safe. There's people who got really bad, but they lived because they had You don't know that.
Well, also, they lied to us about what it was.
Yeah.
So wasn't it the Pfizer CEO that just came out? Was it last week, the week before, and said it is gene therapy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
It doesn't modify your genes, it modifies your genes.
It is not any form or shape doing anything to your genes.
There shouldn't really be religious
exemption. We should clarify that it is actually a form of gene therapy.
Oh, so it modifies genes?
No, it is literally a therapist for your genes.
I didn't know my blue jeans needed a therapist, but
well, if you'd ever seen my fat ass, you would know mine definitely do.
All day, every day. He barely washes me.
Once every 2 months. That's it. That's all I get.
Yeah, and also pushing horse paste from the CEO who is a horse doctor who's pushing a vaccine that shouldn't have a religious exemption because there isn't anything in it that would provoke a religious exemption. Hey, what's this ingredient thing here that says it's tied to aborted fetus tissue? Yeah, about that. I mean, it's it's not actual fetus tissue in it. It's just uses stuff that came from that. It's like, so it's aborted fetal tissue that's in it. That's semantics. However you define cancel culture, Americans know it exists and feel its burden. In a new national poll commissioned by Times Opinions and Siena College, only 34% of Americans said they believe that all Americans enjoy freedom of speech completely. The poll found 84% of adults said it's very serious or somewhat serious problem that some Americans do not speak freely in everyday situations because of fear of retaliation or harsh criticism.
Oh, that's worse than I thought it was.
What is?
I'm going to send you that article.
Oh, good. Thank you. So,
that is an article talking about the findings of another Pfizer doctor, Dr. Cindy DeVilliers, discussing the recent findings about the C-19, COVID-19 injection. Their recent findings indicate that the spike protein produced from the C-19 injections can get into the nucleus of the cell. The nucleus of the cell houses the DNA in a protective structure.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So, it gets into the nucleus of the cell where it stops the DNA from repairing itself.
So it causes cancer.
Yes.
Because that's what cancer is.
That's what cancer is, yes.
What was the...
Just injected yourself with a carcinogen. Congratulations.
Oh. The Will Smith movie.
Oh, I Am Legend?
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
That was... everyone had to take a vaccine to stop... What was it?
A virus of some...
To stop cancer. It was a cancer cure.
That's what it was.
By modifying the genes to stop cancer is what that... Oh, wait. Hold on. You saying there's going to be a bunch of zombies? No, there have been zombies walking around longer than 2 years.
So, actually, another interesting thing. So my wife listens to this podcast with an OBGYN.
Uh-huh.
That has all kinds of people come on. They talk about different health things and whatever. And they talk about how any modern medicine that you, like, anytime you go to the doctor and the doctor is giving you information on health, their health things that they're giving you are anywhere from like 10 to 15 years behind, if I remember right. It's some ridiculous number. Like it's way behind.
Right, because there's umpteen stuff they have to read through to stay up to date on things.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the things that they talked about in one of their more recent ones that she was telling me about is the effects of the cancer treatment on the economy. And essentially, they went through and they did a study of the interconnection between cancer treatment and the rest of the world's economy.
Right.
And essentially discovered that if cancer were cured, like if they put out a cure for cancer, it would tank the economy.
Yeah.
Like completely bankrupt it.
Uh-huh. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year go into billions. Hundreds of billions go into cancer research.
Yeah.
Every year.
And I mean, not to cast shade or anything, but there's a certain guy who's been promising for a year and a half now that he was gonna cure cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Not to say that curing cancer would be a bad thing. I do hope that they come out with a cure for cancer.
And he's
both
only,
of my parents died from cancer.
And he's only peddling policies that would tank the economy, leading to, I don't know, a reset of sorts of the economy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be odd?
That was my thought when I heard what they were talking about. I was like, I wonder if he's just like chipping away at some of the things with some of his policies, and then they actually already have a cure for cancer,
no
and they're just
doubt
gonna
they have that.
They're just gonna like let it go and
after the last 2
crush
years,
the economy.
After the last 2
some
years,
point.
all this kind of stuff, I take it with a heavy grain of salt.
Like one the size of like a boulder.
Like the kind of bags of salt that you put into your water softener. That kind of grain of salt. Just kind of heft a bag.
Oh, that's small, huh? It's a very small grain of sand.
This thing you sent me, this is something that Peter McCullough, who was blocked and canceled and all that stuff, who invented mRNA technology, was warning about with mass injection of mRNA, because one of the things he was concerned about was while researching mRNA, it was stupid hard to break through into where the DNA is housed in the cell. Almost as if your body was designed to not have that happen.
Yeah.
And he pointed out that this is concerning because we don't know what this will do when it gets through that cell wall. It's there for a reason. And if we start throwing things in there, it may or may not modify things. That's what we don't know yet about this technology because we haven't had time or resources to actually research it out to see what happens. Hey, let's use it. It's not ready yet. Let's use it. Jurassic Park music starts playing.
Yeah, right. So the one that originally led me to that is an hour-long interview with the Pfizer chairman and CEO, Albert Bourla, who called the COVID-19 vaccine gene editing, is what he called it. So I will send you the link for that. We don't need to go through it.
No.
We don't have the time to go through it. No. But we can add it into the links, and those that care can go watch it.
So I just love how this all plays into this stupid research poll study thing they did. Why don't you think there's free speech? I don't know, because we can't talk about this that may or may not have saved lives.
Right. The funniest thing to me is they say that we have a problem with free speech because we don't want them to tell our children about sex before a certain age. And
not even just like this is sex, it's graphic.
Sex. Yeah, graphic. All of the stupid bullshit that they try to indoctrinate children with. We don't want it.
Just shy of opening Pornhub in front of them.
Right. But it's not censorship and it's not infringing free speech for them to block and ban us for talking about it. It's not like we're just blathering about things we don't know about. We're literally pulling up articles and reading them. Like
say, hey, this doctor.
We're giving our opinion on the articles, yes, and no, we're not doctors, and you should always seek your own medical advice and all those other things. But you should also always have your own informed opinion about everything. Because as someone who has gone to the doctor multiple times through my life with family members, with different things, your doctor and health science is one of the most, like, throw a dart at a board forms of science that has ever existed.
Well, you have these symptoms, so...
You can literally go with the same set of symptoms to 4 different doctors and get 4 different responses.
That's why people always get second or third opinions about very bad prognoses.
Exactly. And you should always.
But that doesn't mean that
get more than one.
That doesn't
opinion.
necessarily mean that this doctor said I'm going to die, this one said I'm not. I'm going to take the doctor that said I'm not going to die. Probably get a third.
Yeah, it's okay. In the event of a tie, there should be a tiebreaker. Get the third opinion. The third opinion is important. But seriously, people just don't understand. They want to have this definitive end-all, be-all thing that they always just go to the same source every single time, and that is the only person that they ever believe. Don't do that. It is the paramount of idiocy to do that. Because the end-all, be-all for you and your decision-making should be yourself. You should make up your own mind on the different things after collecting the information that you can collect. That should always be your answer. It should always, in the end, you always need to fall on self-reliance. That being said, it is always good to seek opinions, seek counsel, and these different things, but you cannot deify those around you as being more intelligent or being more capable of running your life than you are. Because there's always another route that they won't think of. And somebody else might. And so if you seek a wide pool, a wide range of opinions and of ideas, and then make a decision for yourself, you're much more likely to stumble on a path that is right for you.
Yes.
And ideas that are right for you. That's all I got. That's my soapbox for the night.
All right. Well,
I'm done. I'll shut up and take a nap, and you can finish.
Stuff that under the desk for now.
Not enough room. My ego's too large to fit under the desk.
Yeah. One thing I noticed in this survey that they have from the New York Times is on the person's right to burn books. Let's see, where was it?
I mean, individual books, their own books that they own, sure. It's called kindling.
Parents demanding that books they deem to be offensive be burned.
No.
This one is consistent as far as as far as party identification goes. 18% of Democrats, 21% of Republicans, and 19% of independents. So statistically the same number. Most people support a person's right to engage in this speech. Just 20%. Most people oppose a person's right to engage in this speech. Is across the board mid-70s. No, don't burn the books. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. In general, though, if you want to burn books, go ahead and burn books. We'll just go ahead and society will label you as a crazy person.
I am proud to note that most people support a person's right to question the scientific credibility of public health officials. That is good. 61%.
Oh.
That brings a little bit more of the faith in humanity back.
Warms the cockles of your heart a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Politicians saying that other politicians are insufficiently American. I mean, it's their right to say it.
They can say it.
They can say it all they want. Protesters using language like, we have to take our country back. 54% say it's a person's right to engage in the speech. 39% say nah.
Yeah. It's an interesting study that they did. And
this is the funnest thing to me. Like, they're sitting here and burning books is a physical thing that is like you're destroying a form of literature, form of culture.
You are destroying a form of speech.
That is a form of speech you are destroying. So no, that's not within your rights of free speech. That's not free speech. That is the opposite of free speech. However, saying that your political opponent is not American, that is free speech, 110%. You can say whatever the hell you want. That's what free speech is. And obviously, criminal incitement is different. Yelling fire in a crowded movie theater being the main example everybody uses. If something you say physically endangers somebody else, at that point, it's no longer free speech. You are actually inciting something. What you laughing at over there?
Down at the very bottom, do you think that much of the mainstream media is fake news or not? Yes, 56%. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. That's they need a little bit of ointment for that burn.
That is funny. All right. The last New York Times thing we got. New York Times reached out to Candace Owens.
Oh, did they?
They did.
Ha! How did that go?
He emailed her. Hi there, I'm writing from the New York Times. We're working on a story about Russian messaging that includes some of your comments. We note that you advanced the idea that Ukraine was a corrupt country, which matched comments we've seen from Russian state media. I'm wondering if you have any context or further comment to add about this comparison. We're finalizing the story today. Thanks. She responded. Hi, I'm very confused by this email. I learned about the idea that Ukraine was a corrupt country from the New York Times. You guys have covered the corruption of Ukraine extensively for years. As just one example, here is a piece from the New York Times editorial board entitled Ukraine's Underlying Corruption.
Unyielding corruption.
Corruption. I educated and provided a link. I educated myself about both the neo-Nazi problem in Ukraine and the unyielding corruption by reading your newspaper, not Russian state media. Is there something specific I said that was different from what you guys have written in the past? Thank you, Candace.
For good measure, here are some more past articles written from reputable sources over the past few years about the corruption and neo-Nazi problem in Ukraine. She then later sent to them. For clarity, are you now suggesting that what the Western media covered extensively over the last few years is now just Russian propaganda? Are you suggesting all of these articles were sponsored by Russia state media? Again, I would love to provide you with a quote for your article. Just want to be clear regarding what you mean when you say that I am advancing ideas that Ukraine was a corrupt country, when in fact I got my ideas from your publications.
With 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 more links.
2 of them being from the New York Times, 1 from The Hill, 1 from the Daily Beast, and 1 from the Guardian.
From the New York Times, Vladimir Zelensky, Ukraine Jewish president. That's probably a neo-Nazi thing. The Hill, the reality of neo-Nazis in the Ukraine is far from Kremlin propaganda.
What Ukrainian Jews fear, from the New York Times, Ukraine's anti-Russia Azov Battalion, Minutemen, or neo-Nazi terrorists, the Daily Beast, and neo-Nazi groups recruit Britons to fight in Ukraine, the Guardian.
Idiots. Do you need some ice for that 3rd degree burn? Gosh. They don't even read their own paper. Why should we? Anyway.
Yeah, I love the comments. So an article from 2016 before Zelensky was even president is all she got? And then you look at the articles, the extra articles that she linked, because the first one was the one from 2016. The Ukraine Jewish president one from New York Times was April 2019. I don't know when the Hill one was. It doesn't have the date there. What Ukraine's Jews fear from New York Times was 2017, April 11th. The Daily Beast one doesn't have a date, but the Guardian one was March 2018. All of those being
Within
after Zelensky was elected.
Yes.
So, I mean, whatever.
Speaking of credibility, CNN Business confirmed that the White House considered gas cards to ease the pain at the pump. So they're thinking of everything to reduce the price of gas except drilling our own oil. What if we just start drilling our own oil? You get out. What if we send everyone a gas card? Keep talking. I like where this is going. The White House considers sending gas cards to families to cushion the blow from record high gas prices before eventually deciding it is not feasible. Oh. This is from Axios, I guess, originally. The Biden administration is worried that gas cards won't work because of execution issues and fraud concerns. No. Fraud with government money? That never happens. Hunter Biden. In the past, cards have been stolen from mailboxes, a source familiar with the administration's thinking told CNN, adding that they are studying the pros and cons of various proposals. Just not drilling our own oil. Yeah. 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 So we'll release oil from our emergency stockpiles. We'll continue buying oil from Russia. They ended the things. The contracts are still there for another month-ish, at least. We're talking to Saudi Arabia to get oil from them as they are talking to China about switching to the yuan to trade oil instead of the U.S. dollar. Oh, there goes the... Oh, that's not good. Also talking to Iran about, hey, if we give you nuclear capabilities, will you give us oil? Yeah, that's going to end well. Talking to Venezuela to get oil. So, going around to all the dictators to get oil, which kind of upsets Canada because we haven't talked to the Canadian dictator yet about getting oil. Canadian energy official is frustrated Biden is looking to Venezuela and Iran for oil. We're right next door. We're here. Hello? Hello? If only there was someone who had oil. Hello?
Here we are. Pick me.
Remember that pipeline you shut down? Hi.
Hello.
Sonia Savage, the energy minister for Alberta, made the comments in an interview with Lisa Fletcher of WJLA TV. What did you think when President Biden called on OPEC and other oil drilling nations like Saudi? Fletcher asked. I thought, what? We're right next door. We're here. It's extremely frustrating when we see the United States administration reaching out to Saudi Arabia to ask for more oil production, to ask OPEC for more oil production, to look at Iran, to look at Venezuela, when we're right next door here in Alberta. They should be looking
now
at us for a
imagine how
solution.
frustrating it is for everybody in America who knows that we have our own oil that we could get.
I'm surprised Californians aren't up in arms.
I'm not.
Like I've said,
have you seen how indoctrinated most of them are?
I guess most of them that have any semblance of a brain left have left to other states.
In U-Haul trucks, that's why U-Haul's been out of
Why you
vehicles.
don't have U-Hauls in California. Yeah. Yeah. She has previously criticized the Biden administration from her official social media account. U.S. now looking to replace Russian barrels with Venezuelan. You can't make this stuff up. Desperate times require desperate measures.
Like uncapping our oil wells and opening up our oil industry again.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, yeah.
That's it. We're taking over our state.
So you
open all of our wells.
Yes. Utah will save the U.S. Come drill here. Yeah, but most of your land is federal. We didn't say when or where's. We just said start drilling. You don't have authority to do it. It's within our state boundaries. You have the right. Go for it.
We're going to have a banner slogan that's just an oil rig that says "Drill me."
Drill. With T-shirts, I tap that. Tap the oil well.
With a little oil well, I tap that. Yes. Yes.
Campaign's off to a great start. Which of you is going to be governor? Does it matter?
Him. It's going to be him.
It's because I got the face for it, I guess.
We're going to change my name to Wormwood.
Wormwood. Wait. So this one, I don't really care about the article. Just the headline itself is all you need. So how do you say Democrats are losing the Hispanic vote without saying that Democrats are losing the Hispanic vote?
With an article that states that Hispanics are some form of racist.
From Axios, the rise of white nationalist Hispanics.
Okay.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Nick Fuentes, identified as a white supremacist in Justice Department filings, made headlines last week hosting a white nationalist conference in Florida. His father is also half Mexican American.
Okay.
He's part of a small but increasingly visible number of far-right provocateurs with Hispanic backgrounds who spread racist, anti-Semitic messages.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
This whole thing is trash. If you want a good laugh, go ahead and read that as they talk about the Proud Boys leader and stuff like that.
Dude, it's getting to the point where it's not funny anymore. Like,
if you keep throwing these heavy-handed insults around, they don't have the heavy-handedness they once had. Kind of defeats the purpose. Joe Biden had this to say. They wonder why they're losing the vote and why they're losing support.
because they speak. So they get up and talk to the American people. They should just, if they didn't talk, their agenda would go much more smoothly.
It's true. So Joe Biden had this to say, which raised some eyebrows among people like ourselves who understand that there's other powers trying to control things.
You know, we are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. as one of them, as one of the top military people said to me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And
I haven't looked it up, but I wouldn't be surprised if that number is wrong because he's not good with numbers.
Pretty sure that number is between 1600 and 1696. How many people?
Or 1900 and 19, I don't know. He's probably, the number he probably got was...
Just rewind that for a second. Start it over.
The number he got for that was probably wars, not necessarily all people. But, you know, he's Joe Biden.
To me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946.
I'm guessing that's war. 60 million people, war. Not total deaths. Because 46 was the end of World War II, so...
Yeah, should have been.
Anyway, that's not the point of this.
I'll see if I can find that. You continue.
The point of this is right here.
And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is the time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. And we've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
Oh, it's a new world order.
That's special.
That's good. That's good. Now it's being written off as conspiracy theories are jumping on this. There's nothing to it. Well, there is. There's a lot to it. Yeah, there's a lot to it. People were tying it to the Great Reset and things like that. And Biden, which we're also told doesn't exist. There's a article from the Idaho Statesman. Now, Idaho tried to pass an anti-ESG bill. And the Republicans, being the stalwart people they are, folded like origami and didn't really do anything about it. Yeah, we got the bill. You going to vote on it? You going to get it out of committee? Why not? Well, I talked to my banker friend, and he said it's nothing to worry about. Oh, so you talked to the guy that's going to benefit from this being implemented, and he said there's nothing to worry about. Whereas the ones that are saying they're going to be affected by this, they don't have anything to worry about. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. But yeah, this article, last month, political commentator Glenn Beck visited with a group of Idaho legislators at the state capitol to talk about a number of things, including the latest right-wing conspiracy surrounding ESG investing. ESG is an investment strategy that stands for environmental, social, and governance. It's a way for companies and individuals to invest in businesses that are perceived to be good stewards of the environment, are socially responsible, and have equitable corporate governance. If that's all it is, cool. We should also have a conservative one. It's also a way to assess company exposure to risks such as climate change, financial mismanagement, corruption, and unfair labor practice, risks that could affect stock prices and that investors would like to know about. I think ESG investing is good for investors. Jason Norris, a chartered financial analyst and portfolio manager for Ferguson Wellman Capital Management, said in a phone interview. It gives investors blah, 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 blah. ESG has been around for a long time, especially in Europe. Don't care what Europe's doing, but it really caught on in the United States in the last few years. But ESG has become the latest boogeyman for the far-right conspiracy theorists like Beck, who thinks that ESG is a plot cooked up by the World Economic Forum and people like George Soros to get everyone in the world to become politically correct, step in line with what they call the climate alarmists, and undermine American capitalism. Beck connects this to the World Economic Forum's global environment initiative called the Great Reset. It's worth noting that the Great Reset was launched in June 2020, many years after ESG investing and its predecessors, socially responsible investing, came along. So, I want you to type something in, Mike, on the Googles.
Okay.
Type in the Great Reset. Let me know what the first link is.
Tanbooks.com.
Tanbooks.com.
What the Great Reset really is. Discover the Great Reset ad.
Oh, it's an ad. So the first link. No, not ad. Yes.
The Great Reset, World Economic Forum.
Oh, it's such a conspiracy theory. It's right there.
The second link is what is the Great Reset at Hillsdale College.
Oh. Yeah. So, Biden, after saying, New World Order, met behind closed doors with some executives. And he said some stuff that was, fun. Several outlets, including The Hill and the New York Post, reported that the White House officials and cabinet secretaries had met with CEOs from a number of major corporations across multiple industries, especially the energy, food, and financial sectors, in an off-the-record discussion on the impacts of the Russia-Ukraine conflict and the sanctions imposed on Russia by the U.S. and its Western allies. A White House official told Fox Business that companies attending included oil and gas giants ExxonMobil. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. ExxonMobil is not on the partners list for the World Economic Forum. I know some of these are. Some of these are not like the others. And Marathon Petroleum, clean energy giants Pattern and Invenergy, financial titans JP Morgan Chase, Visa, and Bank of America. So JP Morgan Chase, yes, they are on that list. Where'd you go? JP Morgan Chase and Company is one of the partners of the World Economic Forum. Visa, Bank of America. Visa is, wait for it. Where'd you go? Visa. There's Visa. And Bank of America is right there. Yep, there it is. Bank of America. Cool. So we don't need to pass these anti-ESG bills because they're not going to affect banking or anything like that. Meanwhile, Joe Biden meets behind closed doors with CEOs of the major banks in the United States who are also partners with the World Economic Forum, which is saying they're going to use ESG to implement a great reset. But it's all a conspiracy theory.
Of course it is.
It wasn't on Biden's schedule, but yeah, they met secretly to talk about how they're going to fix the world, I guess. Good for them. Good for them. Did you find what you were looking for?
Vaguely. So
I just presume if Biden says a number, it's wrong.
I mean, yeah, the number that I added up was 175, almost 176 million between 1900 and 1946, not including wars that started before 1900 and ended in the early 1900s.
Uh-huh.
So only wars that started after 1900
Right.
and ended around 1946.
And you only got twice the number
I
that you
got
cited.
175,917,000. And that is across the world.
Right.
But looking at our world in data for 1946 on, because for some reason they don't have anything prior to 1946, it says that the number of war deaths has been declining since 1946. I'm trying to find. So it has these numbers, but it doesn't actually say if it's like total or if it's like per 100,000 or what. Like it doesn't give the actual definition of it. But the last high was in 1950 when 595,283 people were killed in a conflict in Asia.
Oh.
And then in 1971, 355,751 and a half people. That's got to be, because there's a half in there, it has to be based off of like per 100,000 or something.
Right.
Or it's some kind of average. But that 355,000 was killed in conflicts in Asia.
So the number can't be found anywhere. 60 million.
Conflicts in...
Okay.
I mean, the grand majority of it is... I mean, there are like hundreds of thousands of people dying every year in Asia in conflicts, apparently. Only surpassed in the 1980s for a few years in the Middle East. And even then, those weren't as big. They're 100,000, 75,000,
right,
80,000. And I'm sure that 80s was probably Desert Storm stuff. And then your 2000s are Afghanistan, and it's 50,000, 60,000, 80,000.
Right.
So, yeah, considerably less people died between 1946 and now during war than died.
Well, it's thanks to the new progressive era, which is technically not wrong that that's what we were living in, because
the
FDR.
The worst one by far, of course, was World War II. Though that's 85 million people died in that war. And
so, even just one war, and it's
so,
still more than the number that he cited.
No. This is the funny part. So, World War II is 85 million people. The Second Sino-Japanese War, which was 1937 to 1945, was 25 million people. America wasn't involved in that at all. That was China versus Japan. And 25 million people died. That was 1937 to 1945. So that was technically right in the middle of World War II. So if you include that in World War II is over 100 million people died.
Japan was stupid.
Yeah, Japan versus Republic of China and its allies. So it was definitely part of World War II. I don't know why they have it separate in this thing.
And then, so they're in the middle of that, and then they
the
decide...
Spanish Civil War, 1 million people died. The Chinese Civil War, 11.6 million people died.
So I'm still wrapping my head around...
The Russian Civil War, 9 million people died. World War I, 40 million people died.
This number comes from nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
The higher estimate, so World War I is between 16 million and 40 million. So the higher estimate also includes the first victims of the Spanish flu epidemic who died at the end of 1918. But it doesn't include the Russian Civil War, which took place 1917 to 1922, which is the 9 million that died in the Russian Civil War. The Mexican Revolution, 2 million people died. Between 500,000 and 2 million. They don't actually know how many people died in the Mexican Civil War, because they probably still haven't found most of the bodies. Just so we're aware and we're all on the same page here. But, I mean, you have in the 1900s, 1900 to 1946, you have multiple wars that had over 1 million deaths. and 2 wars that were in the like double million digit deaths. You have the Japanese China War, which was 25 million, and you have
Right.
World War II, which was 85 million, which technically the same war, but they count them separate here.
It's still, so Japan's engaged in a bloody war with China. Then they decide to bomb Pearl Harbor in the middle of that.
Yeah,
Smart.
It was brilliant on their part.
They'll never see this
Absolutely.
coming. I mean, you're not wrong.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, the Soviet-Japanese War in 1945 was only 95,000 people that died. Only.
Anyway, so a poll done by what was this? Ecos and Star Graphic? I don't know. Anyways, how should Canada respond to the Ukraine invasion? Vaccinated versus unvaccinated. This was interesting to me when I saw this because, well, it appears as though respondents who say they received 3 or more shots versus respondents who say they were unvaccinated. Imposing tougher economic sanctions on Russia, 86% of vaccinated said they agree with that. 13% of unvaccinated agreed with that. Huh. And just going down the board, it's pretty much the same thing. Seizing assets of Russian oligarchs, cutting off oil shipments from Russia, sending additional military equipment to Ukraine, providing additional loans and non-military aid to Ukraine, providing Ukraine with fighter jets, 52 to 15, dispatching military forces, 30 to 11. None of the above, 2% of the vaccinated said none of the above, versus 52% of people who were unvaccinated said, yeah, how about we just don't get involved? And then, of course, I don't know, 3 and 18. So there's an odd connection here of people who happily bought into getting 3 or more vaccine shots, AKA listened to everything their government was telling them and media was telling them, are basically agreeing with going to war with Ukraine, which would be World War II. Whereas those who decided to not get vaccinated are like, how about we just don't?
Oh gosh, that's disgusting. It's almost like in the end of World War II when we dropped that nuclear bomb, everybody was like, okay, we're done. Because the next 46 years after World War II, there is a total combined deaths in war of 33.8 million.
Yeah, you start dropping bombs that turn everything to glass in a 10-mile radius. People are a little more hesitant to start firing off rounds.
Right. But that is just from 1946 to 1993.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Did you hear about the bill that Rand Paul suggested to get rid of Fauci?
No.
So Rand Paul submitted an amendment to replace the NIAID with 3 separate national research institutes. So he's taking a government entity and splitting
it
its
up.
power.
Oh, good.
That's what he proposed. Republican
I mean,
senators...
we should just abolish it, but, splitting it's the next best thing.
Yes. So in a way, he's taking power from government instead of giving government more power.
So he's, doing Constitution things.
Yeah. Republican senators Richard Burr of North Carolina, Susan Collins of Maine, Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, Mitt Romney of Utah, and
Is
Jerry
it too late to
Moran
send him to Ukraine?
of Kansas each voted against
I think we should
the amendment.
I think we should encourage him to go and defend his investments personally.
You mean his son's investments
Yes.
that he doesn't enrich from at all,
Sure.
just like Joe Biden doesn't enrich from Hunter Biden's Ukrainian
Right.
announcements.
Yeah.
Or Nancy Pelosi. Or Chuck Schumer. None of them.
How soon can we get rid of that guy? Is it coming up yet?
It's
Is it time?
2024.
Gosh, 2 more years? That asshole.
2 more years. And this is after last week he voted to keep the federal mask mandate in place for children. And to keep the federal mask thing for travel.
You know, as much as I hated Obama, I'm kind of glad Mitt didn't win.
Right?
Just because he's such a dick. I'm just so... At least with Obama, I knew the dude was a snake from the beginning.
Yeah. At least you know what the snake is.
Mm-hmm.
This is a chicken that's actually a mimic of some sort. Emphasis on chicken.
Yes.
You spineless, backstabbing whore.
Horde. He said horde.
Ah, yes. The D was silent.
The D was silent. I wish this D would be silent.
Yeah. Let's see. The Pelosi thing, right?
Yes.
You
Yes,
wanted
we have
Pelosi?
the... you want to do Pelosi next, not Pixar?
Yeah, we'll end with Pixar.
All right. Yes. Yes, give me that beautiful Australian yelling slurs at Biden. I love it. Oh, wait, not Biden. She sounds like Biden, but it's actually Pelosi this
Throw
time.
up here for some visual cues.
Yes.
Because that's what we love to see is some visual
It's
cues.
so much better when you can see the light in her eyes slowly die as she talks.
If Biden can't go on, yes, he'd be replaced by Harris. But next in line for the leadership hierarchy is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, who's, 81 or something. Can you explain
She
to
was
me
81
what
10 years
Nancy
ago when she
Pelosi,
died
with
and
her
was
even with the help of her amazing
Reincarnated.
arm movements, which are just
Resurrected
so
as the
distracting,
Lich Queen.
what she's
Reanimated.
actually saying
And there-
against
that's
the
better.
proper-
That's the
journalists
proper
last
phrasing.
week.
We're sending stuff over to the Senate. Well, most of the product that we've done is, except now we may have added in the last day or so, and some of what we added is Senate to the bill, like a hearing. Bernie doesn't like hearing. Excuse me, Bernie loves hearing. Manchin doesn't want hearing in the bill and all that stuff.
What?
So some is Senate oriented, and then we had the family medical leave. We figured if they're putting things in, then we can put something in.
Okay, pause
Even if
for a second.
Manchin doesn't
Okay.
like it.
So this is now the 6th time that I have listened to this inane rambling.
It's inane rambling.
And I think I might have gotten some gist from this part of it.
You had to break out the translator for this?
I had to break out the translator for this. So she's talking about the bill that they just sent up to increase the staffer wages.
Right.
So she's talking about they added extra things into it when it came in to vote because they wanted to add extra things into it.
They wanted to add more money.
They wanted to pork it.
Yes.
So they porked the vote, the bill. They porked the bill.
The 2,700-page bill
Yes.
that we had.
And
one day.
Manchin is the one that doesn't like Senate hearings, but they've porked the bill and now they're sending it to the Senate. That's what we've got so far to translate the bullshit going on with the stuttering up there.
So we are getting some
Lost it.
bird.
Hello?
Okay, back that up 5 seconds because the next thing she says is where it really goes off the rails, and my translator is broken for this next piece.
Error.
I caught
That's
the
a good
first.
screen grab right there.
Yes, take that, snatch that.
Cut. Send to print.
Yes, that is the opening line. I was able to catch the first 20 seconds of this. I can kind of distinguish what's going on. Kind of.
So
The
we are
rest.
getting some bird and privilege.
Privilege.
I think mostly we're getting privilege
Bird?
scrub.
Privilege
Because
scrub.
Privilege is deadly to a bill. Birdable is important. It's you have to take it out.
Did she just have a stroke?
But privilege violation can take you out.
I think she just had a stroke.
Not
She a bird and what the hell is bird and privilege? Is that a saying?
Privilege
Damn
scrub.
colloquialisms over there. What the hell is bird and privilege?
Privilege scrub.
Privilege scrub. Because privilege is bad. On birds, privilege, and false allegations. Nope, that is bird baths and privilege scrub. Yep, that's...
Yeah, but what is it? This
If you
doesn't
search
tell us
bird and privilege, you actually find a bunch of links
to this video.
to this video. What the hell is a privilege scrub? Okay. Well, anyway, let the Australians finish out the.
Not it, Daisy. America's got 330 million people. It ends up with Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Nancy Pelosi, 1, 2, 3 in the leadership. Explain this.
Oh my God, I know. I mean, with so many people, those are the best three they can come up with. And the hilarious thing.
No.
Negative.
That is
not the best three
the
we
best
can come up with.
Just laying that out there is no.
The best three that we could come up with wouldn't want to run for office.
There's that.
Just saying.
Yeah. Anyway.
Andrew, look what they said about the previous administration. They said that Trump was horrible and that he was crazy and that he was racist and that he was a terrible leader, and he said all of these awful things, and they peddled just complete fake news and fake stories about him. They promised that they would do better and they would be the adults in the room and everything would be just normal and lovely when they got into power. And now they've got into power, and rather than improving on Trump, you've got a president who is completely off with the pixies. You've got a vice president who the very best thing about her is that she can do a bad French accent. And given that clip of Nancy Pelosi, you have a Speaker of the House who apparently doesn't know her Arthur from her Martha.
If Biden can't...
That was great. I just love the... You know, usually you tell other people not to pick on your mentally ill brother, but in this case, let it slide.
In this case, we recognize that he is actually not mentally ill. He's just
an asshole.
He should not be in civilized society
at all.
At all. He should be detained, locked away, never heard from again. Yeah, because it was a thing even with Obama when he was overseas, and people would say something about George Bush. Biden would cut him off and say, we're not doing that here. It was a thing at one point to just, no, we're not. There was a certain level of respect as much as they hated each other politically. No.
So according to OutbackDictionary.com,
Down under.
Off with the pixies or away with the pixies means daydreaming, dreaming, or the person isn't paying attention to their surroundings.
You're a daydream believer and the homecoming queen.
Yes!
I hate how much that fits.
That was classic.
You're welcome. We can soothe you with our vocals.
I am nothing if not soothing.
So in Florida, DeSantis signed into law the parents. What's it called? What's it actually called? That's what I want.
Parental rights bill?
Yes, the parents' parental rights bill, saying that schools can't hide sex-related things from parents with going on with kids, and that schools can't teach sex-related things to third grade and under. And if they do, parents have a right to sue the teachers and or school that break the law. Sounds good to me. So you're there to teach about arithmetic and English and stuff, reading, writing, arithmetic. I don't need them doing gay pride parades. I don't need them doing heterosexual pride parades. I just send them there so you can teach them how to read and write and all that stuff. I'll take care of everything else. But no, it's being called the Don't Say Gay bill because there isn't that at all in the bill.
It's because they want to squash it, so they're lying about it like they usually do.
Like they do. Like we covered with the whole Georgia thing a while ago.
Like they did with the school choice bill here in Utah.
Yeah.
They just blatantly lie about it. That's what they do.
When you don't have a logical defense for why it shouldn't be, you just call it names that it actually isn't.
What do you think? That's what they do. They can make up anything.
They can. To the point where Disney finally stepped in because all of their woke employees, something that my mom and I actually talked about, was it's interesting that they are woke. When is it that you are woke in the day? It's when you first get up in the morning, you awoke from your sleep. Mm-hmm. When you awoke from your sleep, were you extremely alert and aware of everything? No. You're groggy, tired, you want to go back to bed. And you hate everyone that's not letting you go back to bed.
And everything.
Yes. But when you are awake, you are alert and aware of everything. You still might want everyone to shut up and let you go back to bed. But
that's my default. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is. Yes. That. But especially Tuesday night about 9:30.
Any reason in particular? Or?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just a general. I know Tuesday night 9:30 is oddly specific. It's fine.
It's fine. Fine. So people were clamoring for Disney to do something because, you know, there's Disney World down there and they actually have a bunch of production stuff in Florida. And so their employees were like, you need to do something. And Disney's like, we're just trying to not do anything. Yes, but you should do something. Disney said that they're not going to donate to any political stuff. And then their employees got upset because they weren't donating to leftist political stuff. Hey, why'd you stop giving donations? Because we said we're going to stop donating to political stuff. Yeah, but you need to donate to this. So Disney being having the stalwart, strong CEO that he is, folded under the pressure and donated heavily to LGBTQ related things. And he's now going on a listening tour with his employees to listen to all of the grievances and stuff that his LGBTQIA2+ employees have to deal with, blah, blah, blah. Also, in light of passing of the bill, Pixar restores a same-sex kiss in upcoming Lightyear movie over staff outrage of Florida's parental rights bill. So Disney is using a kids movie to politically retaliate against a state that effectively passed a bill that prohibits grooming children for sex. So they're going to insert sex to a degree into a kids movie in retaliation. Uh-huh. I now understand why Tim Allen is not the voice of Buzz Lightyear in this movie. He is way too conservative for Disney.
Way too conservative.
It's a shame because I was looking forward to this because it actually looked hilarious. And granted, right now this is someone telling somebody else that this is what's going on, not necessarily an official thing from Pixar or Disney. That being said, when this comes out and if it's confirmed, bye-bye Disney. I'm done.
Yeah.
Done with you.
Dude, it's just so bad. Like, I hate it. So have you ever seen the series Upload?
No.
So it's a Amazon series where people can upload their consciousness to a VR reality. And like in total, when they die, they can actually upload all of themselves onto the VR reality and essentially live forever type of thing. And it's a pretty good show. Like, I really liked the first season. It's really funny, whatever. We just watched the second season. The second season just came out a couple days ago, last week, whatever. Just watched the second season of it. And I really liked it, other than there's a bunch of spots in it where they just go full retard. Like hard, full retard.
Right.
Like, she's sitting there describing this problem, and the problem is very obviously corporatism. It is a single mass conglomerate corporation that has received support from the government, formed an oligarchy, and taken complete control of an aspect of people's lives. And they're violating privacy. They're violating free speech. They create a program that reads your mind and flags, red flags.
Basically like most dystopian movies.
Yeah, exactly. Red flag. And they blame it on capitalism. Like, she like, for 3 episodes straight, she's just talking about the evils of capitalism.
False.
And it's like, that you literally just described not capitalism. Like,
you describe corporatism, which is basically one step away from fascism.
Yes. It's a corporate oligarchy. You've built a corporate oligarchy and called it capitalism.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of capitalism.
Right.
You have destroyed the free market. The show is about a guy who was going to create a business that would compete and was murdered for it, which is the opposite of free market capitalism. In free market capitalism, the government would shut down the company that did that.
Yeah. Yeah, and liquidate all its assets.
And liquidate all of its assets.
Yeah, be gone.
Exactly. They wouldn't exist anymore. And there's several parts in it that are just like...
No?
I mean, it was done just tactfully enough that you can't really tell if they're pushing the agenda on some of it or if they're making fun of it. Like, there's an entire scene where they, like...
Are you pushing it?
Spoiler alert!
Or are you stupid?
Spoiler alert for everybody who likes Upload and is watching it. Skip the next 15 seconds. So there's this entire part where he goes in with his girlfriend who has, like, basically blackmailed him into dating her still.
Oh, nice. One of those.
Yeah, totally insane.
Real winner.
Dude, she is batshit insane. She blackmails him into dating her, takes him in, and they're going to have a digital baby. And they walk in and the doctor's like, so either one of you can carry it. We can program it so that you'll... And he's like, no, I'm not doing this. I won't do this. And the guy's like, if it makes you feel any better, we can program it so that when your water breaks, it can be something other than water, like chocolate milk or... And he's sitting there and he's like, where would this come out of? The guy's, your anus. I'm out. You know how much I care about you, but no. But yeah, I mean, there's the spots like that where it's like, okay, they're kind of making fun of it, so I'll let it slide. But then there's other stuff where I'm just like, you're ruining season 2 for me. Stop it.
Yes.
Just stop it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and Disney's already on the fritz with my family because I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff for the panda thing.
The panda
Turning
thing.
Red.
Oh, I saw a preview for it a while ago.
Yeah, kids movie. The whole thing is all about
transitioning
and sex stuff.
Yeah, I caught that from the preview.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in that one.
The good news is they don't actually have that in the kids section.
But you know, it's okay. So we don't talk about Bruno.
Which is That movie, it's hilarious. So, Encanto and Luca came out pretty much the same time. Those two movies. I saw way more stuff for Luca than I did Encanto.
Encanto was so much better of a movie.
Oh, it's way better.
So much better.
Just better.
So
better
much better.
Story, better music, better everything. Luca was all about just bullying garbage crap. Encanto was this whole mix of a struggling family, a family that's struggling, but they don't know they're struggling, but they know they're struggling, to actually be a family. And their whole journey on actually bettering themselves and all that stuff. Yeah. Disney didn't push Encanto. They pushed Luca, which was all about bullying and running away from home and things like that. It had a good ending. It did.
Ish.
And now they're pushing Turning Red like crazy. Anytime you pull up the Disney app, it's the first thing on there.
Is there something else better coming out that same time that we can watch?
Something not Disney.
That's fine.
I'd watch Batman again before I watched Turning Red.
Ooh. Did you see Uncharted?
No.
Uncharted was fantastic.
But yeah, we got it's an interesting pickle we've put ourselves in because, well, we've done this to ourselves. Right, I didn't choose to do that. You may not have chosen to live in a world where Disney is the opposite of what Disney should be. You may not have chosen to have politicians represent you who should be in the geriatric ward. You may or may not have chosen to have policies like this that are blatantly destroying everything that you love.
Morbius is coming out next week.
But
that was what I wanted to see.
Over the years, we have put ourselves in this position because, well, that's politicians are just like that. They're grimy, slimy, and backstabbing, and that's what politicians do. Why do politicians do that? Because we allow them to do that. Nancy Pelosi's been in there for what, 100 some odd years?
Something around there.
Just after Washington died, I think.
They really need to reanimate a different corpse. She is.
Might want to check the warranty on that one.
That one is coming up on its end of warranty.
But it's the reason why. I hate all this. They keep doing this stuff. Politicians they don't understand. Then stop voting for politicians.
Well, we tried that, and he tweeted mean things.
Oh, he actually gave you kind of the hard life of life.
It's a hard knock life.
Exactly.
For me.
Exactly. He's just so mean. I can't stand it. Don't read the tweets.
That's what I did. Worked out well for me.
But it always shows up on my Twitter. Turn Twitter off. I don't know. Maybe actually talk to someone face to face. You might actually, I don't know, get to know someone instead of thinking they're a racist because they have a red hat on their head. Seems like you are the judgmental person, not them.
That is what it seems.
Throwing that out there. Yeah, and if you want politicians to change, you should change the politicians that are going to represent you. And for the conservative bunch out there that realize it's not just the politicians, it's the bureaucracy behind them, stop sending politicians that keep bureaucracy in place, like frickin' Mitt Romney. When you have politicians like Rand Paul who's saying, how about we take this one position and split it up so that one guy doesn't make a decision that shuts everything down? Because he's not an elected official and he's been there for 40, 50 years. Oh, by the way, Anthony Fauci was paid $430,000 last year. He's the highest paid federal employee, more than the President of the United States. Again. And his pension fund, when he retires, $350 some odd thousand. Plus cost of living increase each year. He mentioned he was going to retire, by the way.
Oh, good. I mean, shocking.
Yeah. 2 days later, he was asked about it. He said, no, I'm not retiring.
Oh, so
Flip-flops on everything.
So he pulled a Tom Brady, did he?
Except he's not as entertaining.
Did you see the YouTube video of the Tom Brady retirement?
No.
So funny. It's like day one of retirement. He's at home and his wife's asking him to do stuff.
The honey-do list?
Yeah, the honey-do list. And he asked her to call him Tom Brady. She's like, Tom Brady, can you do this? Tom Brady, can you do this? So he's like, it's like day 6 of retirement, and he's like on the phone with his agent. Yeah, hey, can I come back?
Dude. Yeah, I bet you anything what's going to happen. There's good, better, best options moving forward. Good thing that happens is Republicans take the majority of the House and the Senate. Better option, Republicans take a supermajority of the House and the Senate.
Best option. Libertarians replace everyone.
Best option.
Wait.
Politicians who aren't politicians take over the House and the Senate. Be it Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, whatever. They don't play politics. They just take common sense and say, all right, yeah, so
Libertarians.
if we keep spending this much money, we're going to increase inflation. So let's just not spend money.
Trying to take over the world so they can leave you the hell alone.
Exactly. But in all 3 of those scenarios, good, better, best, I bet you Fauci retires. Announces his retirement right after that because he's going to be sitting in the hot seat if he stays in there when Republicans are in control.
Hopefully.
Betcha. He's a short book. Short man. Sad little man. He's a sad, sad little man.
It's okay. We forgive him.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of forgiveness.
That's the sound of people drowning, Carl.
That is what forgiveness sounds like. Screaming and then silence.
Screaming and then silence. That's all.
Is that all?
That's all.
Is that all?
I'm done.
You sure that's all?
Yep.
That's got to be all.
Yep.
Okay, good. That's all.
We're past the time that you said.
Far past. It's a little ways past.
A little ways. Don't forget to do all the liking things and whatever, thumbs up, subscription stuff.
Buy a t-shirt or something.
That'd be nice too. But most importantly, spread the word because that'll make it more endearing for people to advertise with us.
It will.
Or sponsor us or whatever.
Do all of the things.
All of the things.
All of the things.
All of them. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well,
make sure I go to the right screen. There we go.
Yeah, you might want to make sure you're on the right.
On the right computer.
Doing all right there. All right. Well, until next time. Bye. Look at that. Whoa. I said that and then I turned and really wished I hadn't looked.
Huh. It's hideous. That's a mirror.
Ooh.
Someone should watch that.
Gets me every time.
Every
time. Don't understand.
I'm guessing you've started recording already.
I have.
Yep.
Indeed.
Look at you. On the ball.
I'm not on a ball. I'm in a chair.
Broken chair.
It's not too broken.
Not dead yet. This will be under new folder for now.
New folder? Mm-hmm. You haven't thought up a clever name for it yet?
No, not yet. That's
How about, and the Man of the Year award goes to...
It's a viable candidate.
It's a viable candidate. Hunter Biden! Because nobody else we've ever met can smoke Parmesan cheese quite as well as the former vice president's former son.
I don't know who he is. Never met the man.
Weren't you just in an interview where you said that as long as he was good, everything was... I don't know what you're talking about.
What are we talking about?
What are you talking about? Come on, man.
Look. Everyone deserves a right to a bad-a-cath care.
Bad-a-cath care.
Yes. Yes, they do.
President Biden, have you recently been writing speeches for Miss Pelosi?
Miss Pelosi.
Mrs.? I don't even know anymore.
Mrs.?
Mrs.
I don't know. What's the proper title for a lich?
Dark Eminence?
Oh, exalted evil one?
That is one big pile of shit.
Our Lord and Oppressor. Our Lord and Oppressor. He's got jokes. He's got jokes. All right, we ready? There's our theme song for today.
Yes.
You went full retard, man.
That's... Oh. That's... here we go.